Hello everyone, it is Andrew with Gongs Unlimited, and I'm here today with a video uh, about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, my soul, and that is forgiveness. And today we're going to look at how to use sound healing to help you with the energy of forgiveness and releasing stuck energies, a variety of them, that might keep you in the way of forgiving yourself and attaining more grace, having more grace and freedom. The first thing I'd like to talk about is, before we get into it, is that forgiveness is an energy. We are working with energy here, and I like to distinguish that from a lot of times people go, oh, forgiveness, it's this mental concept, or I went to a booth and I talked to a man in black and he said, do 3 prayers and forgiveness. It becomes very mental, as opposed to what I've experienced it as this lifetime is very much a beautiful, powerful energy. So first thing I'd like to do is, if you've spent any time with any of these videos with me, is know that you want to be in a receptive place to work energy. So if you're currently flying a news helicopter, or you're in the middle of splitting an atom, or changing someone's diaper, be they a baby or an adult, maybe take a break. And when you come back, be in a place for this video where you're maybe sitting on a couch or a comfortable chair. If you need to, be lying on a bed or a yoga mat, somewhere where you can close your eyes and relax and not be worried about things. Get a little comfortable. Notice your body. And for a second, just close your eyes. And notice your breath. We're not doing any breathing exercise. I just want you to notice yourself. I want you to become aware of your body and your mind and your thoughts. Are your thoughts racing? Just take the foot off the gas a little. And bring yourself back here. Bring yourself back to the center of your head. Imagine yourself as an awareness, as spirit, behind your eyes, behind the center of your head. Your body may feel anxious, may feel pain, it may be all these things that you've been ignoring lately, overriding, going past them. That's okay. You can forgive yourself for overriding. Just notice yourself. Now I want you to imagine your first chakra sending an energy vibration down to the center of the planet. We're going to call this a grounding or grounding cord. And you don't have to imagine it perfectly. Just imagine your first chakra in the center of the planet, and there's an energy connection that makes your body feel safe. So don't make it just like 6 inches wide. Make that vibration like this wide, around like your side of your aura, maybe even a little wider, and just say hello to it. And what that is going to do is allow you to release energy. Don't worry, the earth can handle it. That's what one of the things she's made for. I know there's a lot of other things going on at earth right now, but the planet can handle you releasing some stuck energy. She just churns up and sends it neutrally back to where it's going to go. So your eyes are closed and you're breathing, and you notice that earth connection. And just let it, for right now, just ask it, that grounding cord, to release energy that's not you, that you've been holding on to. Be it a project, be it another person's energy, someone else's problems, just stress out of your body. Just let it go. And earth has got it. Then notice if earth has any energy she wants to send up your way. Maybe she wants to say hello. Maybe she wants to say, strengthen that cord. And I want you to breathe. Notice your aura. For fun, you can bring your aura real close around you. Just imagine it. You don't need to go, oh, bring it real close. You just go, okay, my aura's going to be like 6 inches around me. See how that feels. Feels probably a little different. And so I'm just going to have my aura be like about 2 feet around me. underneath my feet, above my head, front and back. A lot of people have the auras out in the front because they're pushing forward. Bring it around you. You got to protect your back too. Have your energy field, your creation, it's your creation of your energy around you. Great. Just notice that. Notice where your energy is. Your energy may not feel great. It may feel awesome. It doesn't matter. You're just where you're at. Okay. So now let's talk about the energy of forgiveness. What does that mean? It's not like the spirit of Christmas, though that has its own energy. It doesn't have to do with some specialized thing. It's just the energy of forgiveness. So I want you to kind of, at this point, make it real for yourself. And the first way we're going to do that is I want you to imagine saying hello to the Supreme Being, to the Creator, to God, however you want to imagine it. If you're feeling a little anxious about that, you can say hello to one of the angels that help. And I want you to ask them, hold out your hands with your eyes closed and say, can you please put the energy of forgiveness in my hands? The energy of just divine forgiveness. What does that feel like to you? Mine feels very healing. It feels very light and has great potential. It's not a duh energy. It's a living, breathing energy. It wants to do something. It's like, what should I forgive? What should grace come down? So I want you to let that energy go, and I want you just to let it go from your hands to wherever it needs to go right now, into your aura, your body. Mine went back, and it kind of went into my head. But it might go to your feet. It might go to a place where you just let it go. Just notice what you feel. Now, when I'm playing the gong, I want you to allow that energy of forgiveness to fill you up and allow the gong's energy, the sound energy, to help move forgiveness around and help you notice it. It's going to be a tool that aids and helps you with moving forgiveness around your space and noticing it. And when I come back, we'll talk about another way to forgive. This is just basically becoming aware of the energy of forgiveness. hope you've been having some fun just learning about the energy of forgiveness. There's no right or wrong in how you do it. It's more just becoming aware of it. Now, in this little section, this brief section, I just want to talk about the energy of forgiving yourself. We have this kind of dynamic right now on the planet that's like, I forgive you. Can I beg for your forgiveness? I can't do anything till you forgive me. Should I forgive that person who did something bad? Should I forgive that person? They can never be forgiven. Oh, notice how it's all out there about other people? And that's kind of a dynamic that we've built that isn't necessarily the healthiest, because it means you can't move forward without the permission of someone else. And that's not true. It doesn't mean we should all be callous and disregard everyone. No, that's not it at all. It just means we have to give permission to forgive ourselves. We don't always need to go and ask a priest or an imam or a rabbi or that guy in the corner who sells Lucy's for a forgiveness. You know, we have to forgive ourselves. I'm sure it's worked in various different religions in different places, but in this case, I just want to kind of make it a more engineering level. So in this case, I want you to, again, imagine the energy of forgiveness when I'm playing it. And you might want to see it as gold. You might see it as a color you like. I would suggest don't look at it as a white energy that does different things. I like gold or sometimes a blue or green. You might love orange or pink or whatever color you like. But just let it be the energy of forgiveness. And I want it to, when we're playing the gong this next time, have it go to a place where you've never been able to forgive yourself. Now, the funny thing is, when you can't forgive yourself, what is the opposite of that? You're in judgment. You're in judgment of yourself. And the delightful thing about that is, whether that judgment is from someone else, too. It could be like, I'm believing that I was a really bad girlfriend or really bad boyfriend. And really, it was just that other person's judgment. I mean, I can't forgive myself for having let that relationship not work, or I can't forgive myself for not achieving this goal, that kind of thing. Just allow this forgiveness to go in there and notice it. Feel if you feel it clean out a chakra. Feel if you feel it clean out your aura, your body. But you're allowing yourself to forgive yourself. And it's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, you know, in an extreme case, well, I just murdered that person, but I can forgive myself. I'm not suggesting that, but a lot of times we're walking around with a lot of stuff that's not been forgiven is actually keeping us from freedom and creating again. So in this case, I really want you to imagine, if you're having problems with it, like holding out your hand to God, to the divine source, and go, help me forgive myself in these places. Show me where I'm not, and show me the type of forgiveness. Because when we're playing the gong, that's what this is being set up to do. This whole energetic situation is to allow you forgiveness. And notice what happens. Notice you feel freedom or release. Some people cry. Some people just notice something. And the beautiful thing about that then is you can then fill yourself up and make yourself whole in those spaces. These dark spaces of non-forgiveness will now become light again. So I'm going to play the gong for a little while, and may you use that to do this next thing. hope you're doing well and you had some interesting experiences about that. You can always share them in the comments section if you like. This next section of forgiveness is one of my favorites. One of the favorite things of mine in the last 3 decades of being around the New Age movement is people always talking about karma. The word karma gets bandied about all over the place. That's some good karma. I got bad karma with that. Oh, I'm suffering because of this karma. Oh, I got that karma. Oh, it is a good thing. It's very valuable to be aware of karma. Very valuable. But sometimes our awarenesses are not really fully on the big picture of how the dynamic works. I'm not saying I'm walking around going, oh, yes, I know everything, but I do know one thing. I do know what karma is just an energy. When I look at people, I can see it be stuck and all that stuff. And one of the things I always try to explain to people is with karma, it doesn't mean you're suffering because you have to do something or learn something. Sometimes, if you're aware of karma in certain situations, it's ready to be released. It's just an energy. And what is one of the most fantastic things to use as a solvent to release karma? Forgiveness. Now, let's be clear. You may have some karma that you didn't quite understand something in a past life, and you did some actions, and you still need to learn about it. One of my favorite stories, I once watched a guy on television, and he was a Dutch fellow, a Danish or Dutch fellow, and he was really helping a lot of people get out of sex trafficking and slavery and that kind of stuff, and he was being interviewed on the news. And you could look at him and see, oh my gosh, well, he had been a guy who had put people into slavery in a past life, and he had done something. And so he was going, I did this action, and now I'm going to do this action to release it. And he still used the same fervor and energy and enthusiasm to do it both ways. He was just releasing that. But that isn't, it's never usually like a one-to-one kind of thing. It could be like, oh, I got sick eating some kind of berries in a lifetime, and now I hate fruit and I never eat berries. And really, it doesn't matter. You just have to kind of release that karma. Or I could get into this relationship with this person and have them beat me up again, or I beat me up because I beat them up, or you could just forgive the energy that allowed it to happen. So a lot of times, people go is like, oh, I can't forgive I can't forgive myself until this other person forgives me. And it's really, you can forgive yourself. And what's interesting is if you can forgive yourself of a situation that may have caused some karma, or you're bringing back from a past life, whether or not that other person or group of people forgive you doesn't matter, because you've released it. Then it's up to them. They may get a little shock, like, oh, hey, that person that I was in karma with, and they've forgiven themselves and they're loose now. Now, maybe I should forgive myself or forgive them too. Or if they're not ready to, I'm going to go create this learning experience over with somebody else that has nothing to do with you. So you don't have to be bound. You don't have to be connected to a person that maybe you guys had a bad business deal in a past life, or someone killed someone else in a past life. I've seen those. I've had employees here that kept getting into fights, and I go, oh my gosh, they both have killed each other, and neither one was ready to forgive the other one. So it was a fun time. So, but forgiveness cleaning out karma is great. So in this section, let's take a moment, close your eyes, sit down, notice your body. Maybe you're noticing more freedom from the last bits of healing. And I want you to ask one of your healing guides, or an angel, or God, or Jesus, or Mary, or Buddha, whoever you'd like to talk to. I'm not going to judge you. You pick whoever you like. Ask them to illuminate for you, to charge up a piece of karma that you're ready to let go of. Now, it may be something and that you'll notice, so that it can be real for you. Might be something in your chakras, might be in your body, but it's just energy. You could be going like, oh, I want you to help me clean up this karma with Jojo Doo-Doo-Doo. He's a dummy head. Maybe that's not the right one. You want one that maybe you're not really ready. If you're like, oh, Jojo dummy head, or maybe you're not ready to clean that one up. Maybe you want to have something that's more neutral, but it's still there. Like, oh yeah, remember that time I was a camel trader in Rome and I shortchanged a few people and I still feel bad about it. Maybe it's something like that. So whatever you're ready for, it really doesn't matter. So I want you to allow that karma and then that karma to light up, and I want you to, in the same way you've had the energy of forgiveness come before. Now I want it to be directed at your karma. And if while I'm playing the gong, if there's you have more time, you get rid of one, get rid of another, and really notice how that changes and what you feel, and ask, the divine sources to help you process it. Okay? Let's have a little fun releasing some karma. Hello, I'm back. It's Andrew, and this is probably going to be the last section of this video today, where we're using gongs and sound to help us with forgiveness. Now, we've worked on just becoming aware of the energy of forgiveness. We worked on a little bit of forgiving ourselves, not having to wait for other people. We've worked on forgiving our karma, which is always fun. And this fun one, I just want to kind of work on the space of forgiving ourselves and just the energy of forgiveness and how valuable it is if you're looking to connect more with God or your higher self or that kind of stuff. I've perused and done a few little things regarding the book, The Course of Miracles. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it was a fascinating book, and it talks a lot about how forgiveness helps you with what they call the at-one-ment or atonement or connecting with God in a more complete and whole manner. And we're all still working on it. But the beautiful thing about it was how important that nature of forgiveness of the self, forgiveness of the world, forgiveness of people gives you freedom. It gives you delightful amount of freedom. And it's something I experienced forgiveness like one of my earliest days of when I was first learning psychic and spiritual teachings and techniques. It was a very early thing, and it just really, even before I read anything of Course in Miracles, like, oh my God, this is a miraculous energy. And to be in that state of grace with it. And so in this case, one of the things I sometimes notice about forgiveness is sometimes we walk around, whether or not we want to admit it, in sort of like we may be walking around with things like not feeling good about ourselves, feeling like we're a piece of dog poop, having judgments about ourselves. And the funny thing about that is it's sort of an ego game. Like we always think, oh, he's got a big ego, she's got a big ego, she's walking around and telling us how great they are. The flip side of that is also when you believe you're not very good, where you're like, oh, I was bad in a past life, or oh, I never achieved these goals, which may not have even been your goals, but you were thinking they were, or I didn't do this, and I'm just not good. I'm just not good. And you can't forgive yourself from those judgments. Or maybe you have judgments of, I thought I was the cat's meow. I thought I was, I'm trying to use old terms here, better than sliced cheese or sliced bread, whatever they are. I thought I was the memeiest meme of all Meme Town, whatever it might be. And then you realize you weren't, and then you have a certain degree of judgment about that. But that's all basically not, it's all about your ego, and you're not allowing yourself to connect to God's truth. And the funny thing about God is, I always amazed about being outside of time. We're being forgiven before we did something. God looks at the whole thing. It's already forgiveness. We're the children that are being loved. And so at this point, this last little section, it's kind of like allowing yourself to be open to God and let God forgive you places that you've not, or feel like you can't forgive yourself. And not directing the Supreme Being, not directing a Creator to tell you what to forgive, but just listening to what you get that needs to be forgiven to give you the freedom. And maybe even pointing out, like, well, I'm trying to forgive you, but you're holding on to a pain here. I can feel pain in my fourth chakra right now. I'm like, I'm talking about this, and there's some parts there where I'm still in some judgment of myself. It's constantly a process. But the delightful thing is if you can allow that connection even deeper to God through the use of forgiveness, you're going to open up to a much more light and amused life, not a forced overriding, like, I'm happy, like the meme of the dog sitting with a hat when everything's on fire and he's going, it's fine. It's, if you haven't seen that, you'll find it. But allow yourself to have that full, complete thing. In places where your ego's gotten in the way, you can forgive that and allow a greater connection. So in this case, this last section, we're just going to I want you to kind of have your eyes closed, be very mellow, breathe, and imagine you're a child holding your parent's hand, but not your parents' life, but you're holding God's hand because you're just a child and saying, can you help me forgive where I can't forgive myself, where I've separated myself from your light, whether good or bad, where I don't feel I'm worthy of love, where my ego has stepped up and built a wall. And what a beautiful thing that is if you can allow some more forgiveness in there. And when we're done, take this, whether or not you ever watch this video again, take these steps with you. And this video is always here to help you. And may the energy of forgiveness fill the video, may it fill you, however it is. And have a great rest of your day, your life, your evolving nature. Okay? Thank you.